Greetings, everyone. So today's channel session is going to run a little bit different. Normally you don't hear from me, and that's the way that I like it. If you reviewed any of our older stuff where I used to speak before the channeling began, you know how well that worked. So I try to avoid speaking on these things at all costs. But I'm coming on today to speak before they come through to set a little bit of a foundation or a background. This channel session is going to be a little bit different. It's coming from a different event where I was working with someone else. And the premise of the experiment that we were going to run was looking at free will and reviewing what effect does that have on channeling and other subjects like healing, other type of modalities. The question was, do we actually limit what information comes through based on our free will of subconsciously what we're adding, what we think is acceptable and what we don't think is acceptable? Do we limit the avenue that they have to use to communicate with us? And so the experiment was going to be, on my side, I'm going to be able to sit in session and say that I'm going to throttle open my free will to say anything goes. Say whatever you want. I'm not going to sit here and judge it. I'm not going to worry about the effects on how you're going to take it. I'm not going to worry about, you can't say that. That's too intense. That's too harsh. All the human stuff. As a channel, we go through it too. So the idea behind it is to eliminate all of that and say, for this time period, from point A to point B, I'm open. I'm not going to get involved subconsciously or consciously with what it is that they need to say and what they want to say. I'm just going to 100% try to go through the flow. The second part of the free will was, are they limited with what they could say based on the free will that they're addressing? Do you limit the ability as far as what they could say? Because I see reality within this narrow gap, so therefore that's the only vibration I'm willing to accept. Because of that, would spirit go way out over here and bring up all these subjects that would just blow those walls out of the water? And the answer is no. They're going to stick where you're willing for them to speak on. We all know that. But how much does that really limit what information they have for us is the question. So for your part in, listening, you're part of the experiment. You get to choose. The only way to honor your free will is saying, giving you the premise of what this meeting is going to be about. They've given me a basis on what they're going to be talking about. And it's going to be on the changes that are occurring on this planet right now. All the different things that we're secretly worrying about, but don't really want to talk about. That's a subject that they've chosen to go ahead and address. The community, the changes, and how to prepare. But that doesn't mean that I know exactly what they're going to be talking about. There's a lot of times that they give me the premise, and they're in a totally different zone with it, based on what information needs to be relayed. So your part of free will is that you get to go ahead and choose whether or not you want to listen. You don't have to. You're going to continue watching the video if you choose to, which means you're using your free will to agree to participate in, watching what they have to say and experiencing it. And you get to choose, if you don't want to turn it off. So therefore, your free will is honored. They're not breaking it. So if you don't like it, turn it off. If you like it, stay on and listen to it. So that all the way through the triangle, so to speak, spirit, the channel, the receiver, it closes the cycle that free will is honored all the way. To see what happens when we said in that premise, and see if the message changes. Might not change at all. It might be what normally they speak of, and we don't really spot a big deal. I'm hoping that through experimentation with this, that there is a big deal. This was originally supposed to be done between me and another channel, where we both go into channel state under this premise, under this guideline, to be able to see what comes through, and then be able to review it among two channels afterwards, and be able to really highlight, how did that feel different? How was that a different experience? What did we notice about the information, either way, for either one of our channelings, as far as spotting a difference that would not normally play out, to really be able to scope the tool of free will to see how this is affecting things. But this is just me. Mansour is here, also in a side chair. There'll be a point in time once they are done with the lesson, they will address him and open it up for him for any questions based on what it was that they said. My instructions to him for this one is, as always, be direct, be ruthless, call bull crap if you feel like it's bull crap. Ask the hard questions, don't avoid it. Get into the information's face and really ask what needs to be asked, because it's the only way that you test the information. And it's the only way you get really clear insight and clear answers. If you think about it, if we had gone to college and never asked a question to the professor and just simply listened to what they said and just wrote that down, we wouldn't really understand the subject. It's only by really questioning it that it gets personalized into an actual experience. So, enough talk. Again, I'm surrendering free will to be able to let them say whatever they need to say. And you are choosing your free will to listen or not listen. And this way, free will is respected on all sides. So give me a moment and I'll go in a channel and they'll start their talk. No more lies, no more illusions. We are one. Greetings, brothers and sisters. So today marks a new beginning, a new understanding of energy and flow, and learning to cooperate and work with. And we do have a message for each of you. And this will not be a message for the world. This message is not to save the world. This message is for those who will listen. And part of that is that at the assigned time, at the assigned place, as per the agreement you made, we come with the message, brothers and sisters. It is time to awaken. It is time to awaken, and it is time to awaken. Now is a time to fulfill the purpose that you set your path upon. Now is a time to disregard the outer illusion that you've been keeping up, waiting to hear the bell ring, to hear the simple, to hear the trumpet's call. Now is a time to awaken, brothers and sisters. And so we will address our message from different levels of being, different placements within a society, each targeted and focused on exactly where it needs to go. And so to begin, we want to address the spiritual community as it is now, to correct a misperception that you have, one that most likely you will not embrace. which is, you are not the New Age movement. It never was about you. The intention and purpose was to prepare for the New Age movement. Prepare, not be. And suddenly, there was the announcements that we are the New Age movement. That is about what will happen after the changes, and we will be there. No one said you will be there. You said you will be there. Who told you that? Who said that? This is not about you. The New Age movement begins with the children being born now. That is the New Age movement. The ones previously were sent to prepare the way for them. That was the original message. Well documented, well spoke of, and somehow it became a message and a concern about you. Your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations, how it revolves around me. Which brings us to the next section that you will not like to hear. If the age of ego is passing and the new drama begins, which are you? And you assumed through all of this that you are the new drama unfolding, the new drama of love, the new drama of a clearer perspective of energy of being. And so it was assumed all the way through this that you were that energy. And we correct you. You were not. You are the age of ego. Harsh words. How do we back these up? We back them up by looking at your affirmation cards. We back them up by looking at your books and reviewing your spirituality. We back it up by looking at your prayers, your classes, your conversations. Where is the word we? Where is the word community? It was given to you in the beginning of the New Age to prepare. But as it moved forward and passed from one generation to the next, it became, I am worth love. I am worth acceptance. I am worth abundance. I deserve this new house. I deserve this new car. I deserve this new fill in the blank. I. Even to the point of teaching manifestation as a point that it doesn't matter if others are poor around you. You can achieve your manifestation of abundance despite that, based on your beliefs of what you deserve and are worth. How do you take portions of God to say what you are worth and intentionally keep your brothers and sisters away from it? Only the ego would say such insanity. Spirituality, spirit, we are, communing, would say it's available to everyone. And within your society, as these beliefs proceeded, community died, sense of we faded, sense of I grew strong, and with it, your fear of each other. You lack communing and connection to each other more than ever. Your earth is overpopulated. And yet, you've never felt so alone. This is we, this is community, or this is I ego. The proof, as they say, is in the pudding. And you've been eating it. How does it taste, brothers and sisters? Is it satisfying? Is it glorious? Does it make you glad to be alive? How many medicines are you on to cope with your beliefs? Not to live, to cope, to simply get through the day. Whether that is in pill, liquid that you get from a liquor store, something you get on a street corner from a car. Which is it, brothers and sisters? How do you cope with what you call life? Because of the I. Look at what it has done to your planet. Look and wake up. It is time. You don't have time anymore to play these games. You don't have time to listen to those who enforce these teachings and teach them to you. It is time to remember who you are as a community and what God set forth in motion, which has nothing to do with the physicality you see now. You don't have the time. In fact, we would say you are behind schedule. There is a reason this was given in the 60s as a vision to prepare for now. And so that is the message we would give to the community to wake up from their singularity of selfishness and start trying on the words of we and community and see if that feels better. See if it heals the aches and pains from within. And not because you get together for a class for monetary gain, but because it is a way of life. Not something that is an affirmation card to make it look acceptable to be within that community, but because you understand you wouldn't breathe any other way. It is time, it is time, it is time. Awaken, brothers and sisters, awaken. It is time to transform. So, why the direct message? Why the importance of it? Because you are not listening to God. With the problems that you have before you, there have been answers given. This one that can build a certain device. This one that knows how to grow plants and buildings. This one that understands how to make power that is not on the grid. This one that has a particular healing technique that may be powerful, but not entertaining, so no one pays attention. This one that has communication that doesn't have to do with some ethereal subject of another dimension. What aliens think about your planet and your placement on it. What angelic energies that come through and give basic information. Basic, and call itself angelic. Basic. It is time for something more. That does not make these energies wrong. The question and motive is, if you are faced with a series of challenges, do you really want to listen to the energy that is laying a crayon book and crayons in front of you as a solution. And it is a choice. It is a matter of waking up and realizing what you are worth. That perhaps, you are being treated like you're stupid, simple-minded, uncreative. Let me tell you how creative you all are by treating you uncreatively. Let me tell you how expansive you are by giving you limited options. Listen to the information that is being told to you. Awaken, brothers and sisters, awaken. You don't have time to play games. And you don't have time for the coloring books. You have real things to deal with. And if they are not truly speaking on that level, then why turn on spiritual Sesame Street? You already know it does not fulfill you from within. It does not give you the answer. It just feels good for a moment. And then the fear returns. Is it giving you tools? Real tools to awaken? Do you know how to awaken? Do you know the answer to what ends fear? Did they tell you this? Are they teaching you this? Because with what is to come and what is required, it is essential that you are connected. You don't need us. You don't need your DNA resequenced. You don't need a download from an angel, an alien, or us. The only thing you require is a connection to yourself. And within that, you will meet yourself. And through that, you will know God. What could we possibly do to match that grace? If we are teaching you anything else but that, are we really teaching you anything? Is the question. What have you been learning, my brothers and sisters? What have you been learning? Are you free? Do you feel like you are more? Momentary gains, but back into the sense of lostness? Alone? Disconnected? Does it feel like the same issues always come up with just a different mask, but it's the same issue? I can't really stop that issue. I just deal with the new mask as it arises, and that is life. I do the best that I can. Is it the best that you can? Or is it the best option you've been taught because you haven't been taught how to deal with fear, how to end fear? We've said it several times that way for a reason. Are you listening? Are you hearing? How to end fear. Why is this an important question? It is an important question because each of you talk about going into the new age, rapid in grace. How could you go into the new age of love if you are still part of fear? How could you say you have consciously expanded if you don't know the rudimentally true tools to be able to say the statement, I can end fear? How could you say the teachers that have been teaching you are accurate and true if they have not said the statement, I could teach you to end fear? What do you think the New Age is about? The ending of fear and the beginning of being. Does that mean that there's a line drawn in the sand that once you cross it, oh, no more fear, no more ever? No. But if you don't have the basic belief that it is possible, if you review from now through back to the 60s and no one has stood before you to say that it is possible to end fear, how have you been prepared for this change? Have you been prepared? Or have you been placated so they get money, so they get prestige, so they get position, so their ego feels self-important, and you through it feel self-important? I went to this person's class. It was a selective one. Let me tell you what they said. Oh, it was divine. Does that feel familiar? Has it been worth it, brothers and sisters? Look at the bauble and trinkets within your basket. Was it worth it? Look at the reflections on your planet from lack of consciousness. Lack of consciousness. You cannot gain consciousness without connection. Let us repeat that. You cannot gain consciousness from, lack of connection. You must be connected to gain consciousness. What have you been learning? It's time to ask the hard questions. It's time for you to answer them if you choose to. What have you been learning? What have they been teaching you? What is the truth here? Do we lie? Are we misrepresenting? Are we trying to play a trick? You know in your heart of hearts what the truth is there, and we will leave you to that. It is not our place to tell you what the truth is. Again, we point to you and say that way. No one needs to teach you the truth. You need to learn to follow yourself to actually act on it. Not as an experience like an amusement ride that you got on and ended and go back outside the amusement park to your normal life. It's a pathway within. It is a dedication of being willing to give up everything to follow that path. This is not a new story. You've heard this one before. You've had it demonstrated several times on this planet by those who have successfully traversed the gap and looked at you and said, this way. And you put their book on the shelf next to a fantasy novel. Because they're special. I am not. No we, no community. It is time to awaken, brothers and sisters. It is time to break the illusion. And it is time to hold yourself accountable to what it is you've created. Because until you do, you will not find peace. And that is not spirit decreeing anything. It is just working with the logic of what is. You will not find peace until you find the accountability for what it is that we're saying. Own it. Not in shame, not in guilt. Never should a child of God be held with guilt or shame. It was a choice. Make a new one. Make an informed one. And let the old go? How well has the I served? How well has it led you? Are you happy? Are you connected? Do you feel fulfilled? Or are you simply coping, waiting for something special? You are something special, and you've already been giving something special. But you have to let go of these old beliefs. And the first is observing that that what you have does not work. And in this, again, we are playing masters of the obvious. We are having the dignity to sit before you and address what you already know. Address you as a child of God. And point out once again the power you already contain, because it was a gift you were already given. It's just been a matter of where you placed your attention. Now we go to the next section. And this is the people in the community. There are parts of you that have been receiving messages of it time to act, time to do things differently, time to join in communities. This is no coincidence. Listen to the inner guidance. You are waking up to your actual purpose. And it is not what you thought it was on the affirmation card. You have heard over and over again, you were born for this time, this period, to be here doing the change. Within the I community of New Age, what does that mean? You do nothing to join and be a community. Besides the limited forms that are available, come to my class. Come to the psychic fair. Where are you a community? Where are you joined? But you know it must be done. You are receiving the information of the purpose. Each of you state you are here during this time period, and always, when it comes down to doing something, it's always in the future. You haven't been called yet. It's not time. You'll know it when you know it. You'll know what and when. Do you not see the changes happening in your society? Let us take one example. By this time next year, you will have policies in play that cancels insurance for many of your citizens. They already don't have money. Who's taking care of their medical needs? Has the community discussed this? Has the communities gotten together to say, how should we choose to handle this? Has the community discussed, do we have the ability to handle this? Has the community asked those they work with on an energetic level? Get ready for the question. It's an important one because it discusses free will. Can you teach us how to heal for this? See the difference? Can you teach us how to heal for this? Haven't heard the question, hasn't been asked. We have heard, how do I create more abundance to have more people come to my class to learn to heal? That one we've heard. That one rings loud and clear. What are you doing What are you doing? You are not ready. And you are giving clear instruction. And it's not necessarily your fault. Because everywhere around you, what are you being taught? Just that. Just that. My abundance. I am abundant. No we, no community. It's said, I am here to serve my community. But it's backed with 100% my abundance. What I deserve. All of the people that have been teaching you these teachings, has the point been that they were getting abundance from you by you buying into it? And now you have to give it away by getting other people to buy into it. Wait a minute. I thought you were a spiritual community working on healing. How did you get into Amway products? Because this sure seems like a pyramid scheme to us. Does it not to you? Do you not see it? What does this have to do with God? And if it doesn't have to do with God, what does this have to do with you? How does this honor you as your brothers and sisters? It doesn't even honor yourself. How can it honor them? It is time to awaken. It is time to put down the toys. And we could say that as much as we want. It's not because you shouldn't be doing it. It's because you have serious issues upcoming to deal with. Not of our creation. We have nothing to do with it. Yours. These are your choices. This is the final outcome of I. I am abundant. I deserve. I want. I need. Within a higher energy. And it is ripping your societies in two. And you are not ready. And so, within the communities, for those who awaken and understand it must be we, it must be community, it is time to gather the wisdom. Where are your healers? Where are your tinkerers? Those that create that things to be off the grid. Where are your growers? Where, as with our son, are your communicators? Those who bring through knowledge. Where are the organizers? Each of these is God's gifts. To be gathered, to be harvested into we, into community. Or you can try the I and continue playing that out and see how that works. But it is essential, it is essential, it is essential. The decisions you are making now is going to affect generations of your existence. And we made a promise to you in the beginning of our transmission that we would not take the higher path, sit atop our lofty goals and say, you cannot be hurt, you cannot be harmed. It is an illusion and you will remember yourself, so it doesn't matter what you do. Is that the truth? Absolutely. It is absolutely the truth, and we have confirmed and stuck with that by explaining in our lessons that situations where people were killed was not wrong. Wise? We didn't say that. But we said it wasn't wrong because it was an experience, and one that you will let go when you remember yourselves completely. But our promise was to meet you on your level and say that what you find value in is important. Do you find it important for experience here? Do you find it important what type of experience you're going to find when you come back? All of these things come into play. And so it is time to gather the community. And those that are to do this, you have it ringing within you within our words. You have awakened to your purpose. The right place, the right time, at the agreed upon moment for this to reach you. The bell has been rung, the trumpet has been sounded. It is time to awaken. Arise from the dead and live. And do your purpose that you know. Gather the community. Organize the community. Not in some childish type of form of biting off more than you can chew, of how could we possibly do something to support everyone in society. You won't. You're not supposed to. Let us repeat that. You won't. You're not supposed to. Parts of society have made their decisions on what they want to experience. Why do you think you have so many shows that have come out with a particular theme? It's the attention, a fascination that goes with them. Shows like The Walking Dead, The End of the World. You have the zombies, and you have other groups of each other that fight for survival, fight for supplies, kill each other, trick each other. You don't feel that? That there are those waiting to play that game? You are not here to solve the world's problems. You are here for those who will listen, and you will know. It is a skill you will sharpen. Follow the inner voice, and it will show you it is time to gather your people. And in this, we have not lied to you. We told you about this 3 years ago, during the first series of conversations. We discussed this. The tinkerers, the growers, the healers, the communicationists, the organizers, and those that know from the current technology and modality that can cross both worlds. We told you this 3 years ago, and here we are. Honest. Giving you everything up front. It is time. Gather your community. Because it is time to ask the hard questions. How do you intend to deal with the changes before you? How do you intend to keep food flowing? How do you intend to keep power? How do you intend to heal? How do you intend to keep communication flowing? And who is to organize all this? And where should this take place? These are hard questions. And you can say, best not asked. But when do you ask them? After the lights turn off? After the medicine stops flowing? When do you ask it? When the grocery stores go empty? When the physical changes occur? When do you ask it? We would think it's opportune to ask it now. And those who are getting this message that it's meant for, You already know this answer. And so organize and gather. And now we get to the last part, which is the purpose. The true purpose, if you choose, for your generation of one play ending and a new play beginning. In the beginning, we smashed ego, the wrathful form of love, to break the selfishness, to bring the hope of this message and the importance of it, which is it about survival mode and doing all this? No, it is about hope. Our advice, if you want to call it a directive, we will always point to go within, to confirm, to know, is to gather your hopes, gather the best of humanity, the highest aspects, that which is heartfelt, and keep them alive. The New Age begins with the babies being born now. Your task is to bring them from one age to the New Age. The beginning messages made that clear. It's only egos that choose to not listen and confuse it. And you suffer the consequences of such choices. But your job, your purpose, I am here during this time of transition from one age to the next age, is to be selfless, is to think of that new generation and to surround them with the best of the hope of humanity, to not allow them to lose hope. The world, in its natural form, eats generations, chews them up, spits them out, and the purpose in which they came becomes confused, filled with self-doubt. The stuff therapists love. It's what their new houses and vacations are built upon. The trauma and the drama. Protect them. Protect them. Protect them. They know who they are. You won't need to teach them who they are. Stay out of their way. Protect their hope. Do not let them lose hope. And why is this important? This is the most important thing we will say to you during this session. Are you listening? Because this is the point that decides humanity's path. Let us repeat that. This is the thing that decides humanity's path. No, you are not the New Age, but you will be the deciders of the New Age. And the challenge is, for once in your life, can you think of someone else beside yourself? Can you think bigger picture and not I want, I deserve, I need, I have, and see the future generations? What's in it for you? You will be those future generations. You are coming back here. So picture it as a rebirth plan. Picture it as a rebirth plan. What will you choose to come back into? Because if this generation loses their hope, and the light that came in to be installed darkens and loses its way. The path for humanity will be a dark one indeed. Keep their light on. Allow them to keep their purpose. And you'll enjoy coming back. It will not be easy, but it will not be dark. Protect them. Protect humanity's future. And gather the best of your hopes, the best of your dreams, and shield them. And allow them to grow. They are the seeds of your future. Do not let them die.